if you got them there.
Sure. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well today. Welcome back to another episode of the Honest Concepts Podcast. My name is Sensei Bronson Long. This is my instructor, Master Autry. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing all right.
Good,
I can't complain. It's a beautiful day.
Yes, sir.
It
Beautiful
really
weather.
was.
Absolutely
yes, sir.
was.
Absolutely. Every week we do something a little bit different on here, right? You know, we come on and we have different topics. One week's my turn. One week is your turn. We go back and forth. This week, I thought you had a really good idea.
I couldn't think of anything, so I thought of this.
That's beautiful, right? There's always a plan B,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I think this is just going to be fun, where we just get to hang out and just have a conversation.
Absolutely.
And really, I mean, honestly, that's what the show's about anyway.
Sure.
You know, truly. I mean, you're my martial arts instructor, and I've been training under you for almost 13 years now. And, you know, luckily, we've been blessed enough to get this relationship where I can sit down and do these things with you. And this show's so much more than just martial arts, but more importantly, it's about our walk through life. It's our thoughts and our experiences.
Absolutely.
And really, it's kind of been cool to have this thing develop to where we can...
It's different, and I enjoy it.
It is. Yeah. But I look forward to being able to speak with Pool Mike and Miss Jenny and you know, Mr. Ben or anybody else
And
that comes
Mr.
in.
Wayne.
No, Mr. Wayne. Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's fun to do, and I enjoy it. So, you know, one thing that I found really through the years of working with you and teaching martial arts and everything, I didn't realize how much I enjoyed the company of people.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it's something that it kind of brightens up your day and helps you out just being around other people. And this show gets to do that with us every single Tuesday. You get to hang out with people who just enjoy each other's company and laugh and play, try out coffee brands and just enjoy yourself. So, but anyway, I hope everybody's doing well today. I see Mr. Cool Mike and Miss Jenny in the chat already, and so I'm so glad you guys are here. And as we get this thing going on, just wanted to remind you guys, if you have any ideas for any topics or any questions or anything you'd like to let us know, in the description down below underneath the video, there is an email address there. You can just shoot an email to that address, and we'll do your topic.
And Miss Jenny, she sent me one about, 6-8 weeks ago.
Right.
And I really had lost a lot of the emails. I just looked at some not too long ago. And I sent her an email back, but letting her know we'll do that one day.
Sure.
That was good. It
Perfect.
was good.
Yeah, that's a lot
But
of
today's
fun.
going to be totally different.
I'm excited
Yeah.
about it. Yeah, I'm excited about it. One thing that I've really grown to love about this is going back and listening to some of the episodes while I'm driving or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just kind of reflect on some of the things that have been said. And, you know, some of the stories you tell are hilarious, and you know, there's little morals and lessons to it and stuff. And so it's kind of cool doing all that.
And like I say, I've said it a little while ago, but it's fun. It's enjoyable. You know, it's something we get to do together.
Absolutely.
Outside of just training.
Sure. Exactly right. And I think that's one thing that your martial arts school was just so cool about, was that it was more than just martial arts. There was a community there, you know, and you create relationships. I've seen my students do it too. They create relationships with each other. They know what each other does for a living, and they know what each other had for dinner last week. You know, they talk about things. And that is just, wow, was that the missing piece in my life that I didn't know that I needed? I went into the school thinking I just wanted to punch and kick things. And when I left, I was like, I really like these people.
They're not too bad after all.
They're pretty cool. Yeah, they're pretty cool. It's so funny when we first started at your school, you had like this potluck thing, you know, like a covered dish party where we all came in. And I thought that it started at 7. It started at 6. And I pull up, I've got this little, it's like a pot full of macaroni and cheese. And everyone's going, all right, everybody, have a good night. We'll see you later. They're all leaving.
I remember that.
I came into the school with this mac and cheese. Everybody's on their way walking out. But
I brought dessert.
I was an hour late, and it's so funny.
Lord, that's funny.
But you and about 4 other instructors stayed at the school and hung out with me, and you know, Miss B tried my mac and cheese, and a couple other people got to do it and stuff.
So
and
I don't remember that.
Yes, sir. But it meant so much to me because I was like a yellow belt, and so I'm sitting in the room with all the instructors. I'm just sitting there listening to you guys talk about martial arts or whatever else, and that was kind of the beginning. Because that was so unlike me at the time to go to like this community event and bring food and stuff. But I wanted to be a part of something, you know. And it's cool.
It does draw you.
It sure does.
It does.
It really does. And hopefully we're capturing kind of that same feeling every Tuesday when we do this thing together.
I hope so. I mean, you know, like I say, if we just have the 3 or 4 or 5 watch it, that's fine with me because we're enjoying it.
Absolutely.
But the thing is, it'll grow. You know, when the time's right, the door will open. I mean, like I say, when I first started my school, I was there months before anybody walked in. But then that door opened and flooded in.
Right.
And that's what happened here,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Absolutely. And it's hard sometimes because sometimes I get kind of down on myself about things.
Yeah.
You know, like I was telling my wife about it the other day. I said, I've got my hands in so many pots all the time. I've got my day job, and there's podcasts and YouTube. I edit videos for people. I'm doing martial arts, and it's like having 4 different jobs. There's income coming in from all these different places. And I told her, I said, it's just hard sometimes because I look at it and it feels like one thing goes well and another thing starts to drop, and then one thing plateaus, another thing comes up, another thing goes down. And it's really hard when all 4 of them seem to just be going in a straight line for a week or two. You're like, there's no growth, there's no new students, there's no new clients, nothing's coming in. And it's hard. It's hard.
It opens your mind to worry.
It sure does.
That's what it does.
That's a good way to say
It
that.
opens your mind to worry. I mean, your mind can be open to have fun. It can be open to this or open to that. But when you start doing something like that, I did it at school for years. It opens your mind. I lost like maybe 4, 5, 6 students, and they just were moving or just quit martial arts. Then my mind would open up and I'd start worrying about it. But I found if I just don't worry about it and just enjoy what I do have,
Wow.
it just worked better.
I'm glad you said that because I was going to ask you, what's the secret?
Yeah, I just enjoyed the students that I had.
Yes,
in
sir.
the beginning, I just had a few.
Yes, sir.
But, then were lucky and we ended up with, tons and tons of students.
Right. That's that gratitude thing we were talking about last week. Just
Exactly.
enjoy it.
That's exactly
It's,
right.
It is, I mean, I'm sure you had nights before where you got home from teaching or sat in the school waiting for students to show up, and you get home, you're like, man, this is tough here. You know, it's not an easy thing to do.
It is. I mean, I think anybody that's self-employed just works hard.
Sure.
Sometimes you're tired, your mind's tired. You're like, you know what? I'm wore out.
Right.
This is tough. You know, I want to do something else for a living.
Exactly.
And I thought about working for somebody. Nah. I'll just stay do this.
Right. Right. And it's like that sometimes. I look around and I'm like, what is the smartest option? Because before, when I was 16, I didn't even do schoolwork. You know what I mean? I didn't do homework or none of that. That was just, kindling. It was just something I could ball up and throw in a trash can. Because if you asked me at 16, well, what are you going to do when you get out of school? It's like, well, dummy, I'm going to go teach martial arts. What'd you think?
I'm going to open the door. They're going to flock in.
Yes, of course.
It's all over.
I'm living the dream.
I'll have to turn down students.
Right. And that type of mindset, although I still think that that's a good thing. You're chasing what you want to do, and you've got a mission and a goal in mind, and you're trying to do the right thing.
Sure.
But it gets weird when all of a sudden there's a baby in your arms, and you're like, oh man, I gotta provide for you, and I want to do a good job.
Yeah.
It's hard.
It
It's
is.
scary.
It is.
Now, I imagine most people go through that. Whether you're self-employed or not, sometimes it feels like you're just running up a hill.
Right.
But that gratitude's a good thing.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
you're
It
right.
is.
Just looking at it and saying, at least you got a hill to run up on. At least there's a hill.
Yeah, tonight's podcast is going to be a little bit different, ain't it?
Yes, sir.
What are we going to do?
Well, I've got a couple of things we can try if you want to.
Yeah, let's try it.
Yeah? Okay. All right. So,
See what kind of...
sure. Yeah. We've got nothing in here just yet. I see Mr. Pool Mike and I see Miss Jenny.
Guys, if you have any questions for us, just how about put them in the chat and shoot them to us. That's kind of what we're going to do tonight.
Sure.
If you got a question, you got something you want us to talk about, that's why we just kind of didn't have a title, really.
Right.
So anybody that's listening, just go ahead and ask us some questions. We'll answer any questions that you have. Or
Absolutely.
you got a subject you want us to talk about, just throw it in there and we'll be happy to do it.
For sure. Yeah, that sounds good. Pool Mike is quick. Goodness
Nice.
gracious, you're quick. He said, what's your thought about the current social dress code, such in restaurants? Get ready for my response, he says. I will hit this first.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I'll hit this first. All right. It is very rare that my wife and I go out to a nice restaurant. Very rare. Well, about a year or two ago, we went to a Brazilian steakhouse. Have you ever been?
I have. Turn the card over.
Oh, that
When
was...
before you turn the card over on the table? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
genius. I like that. I love that place. Well, I went in there thinking, this is pretty pricey. You know what I mean? It's very rare for us to do that. I think in our lifetime, we've probably done it like twice.
Right.
It's very rare.
I've done it once.
Yes, sir. It's very rare. So we went, and I was thinking, well, we should probably dress nice.
Right.
You know what I mean? So we put on not like a two-piece suit, but, we put on some decent clothes, and we went. when I got there, I was really glad. I was like, oh, thank God. Because I saw the sign on the door that's like, you know, if you're not dressed appropriately for this restaurant, we won't serve you.
Right.
And I was like, ooh, good. Well, I got in there, and people were wearing, like, jeans and, yoga pants and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, I didn't know that was the case. So to answer Mr. Pool Mike's question, I really don't know. Like, I feel like how much does it matter? You know, because to me, it mattered because it made my night special. Because it's like, you know, me and the lady, we even took pictures while we were down there because we were dressed nice and we were getting out of the house for the first time in a while. But for other people, it's like, we're going to a restaurant, you know. But for us, it was special because we live way away from the city. So it was a long drive.
Right. Wow. Here's my thoughts on the dress code. Mm-hmm. You know, you tell people to use common sense, but that's out the door.
Right.
I mean, honestly, it's out the door. Not just for young, but for some old people too.
Sure.
But the reason I think that a lot of times they want you to dress nice is because it presents a better atmosphere.
Sure.
You walk in, you're looking good with your wife. I'm walking in looking good with my wife. We're dressed neat, you know. Nice dress shirt, starts collar, dress pants, nice shoes. Mm-hmm. You don't want to look over there and see somebody in a cowboy hat,
Right.
you know, in a t-shirt,
Right.
and it says ZZ Top on it,
Right.
You know, I'm sitting there enjoying my my dinner, and you look over there, that guy's dressed that way. Mm-hmm. So I think that's a lot of it. You know, that's
you're right.
I think that is for me. But yeah, I mean, dress codes I think they're good for certain establishments. I mean, I go to Walmart the other day.
Oh Lordy.
It was like they woke up out of bed and just went to Walmart.
Right.
Had the pajamas on. I mean, the shirt was dirty.
Right.
It's like, but that's their lifestyle.
Right.
That's people's lifestyle. You are what you present. Mm-hmm. You know, that's true.
It's true.
So, you know, I see it at Walmart. I see it at restaurants. I went to fast food the other day, went in there, and a couple of kids were sitting there, and I'm like, I don't cut the grass like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There again, it goes back to common sense. But yeah, that's what they're trying to stay, I think, with more fine dining.
I think that makes sense.
Or semi-fine dining.
Atmosphere is a good word for that. Coming from someone who used to go to the store in their pajamas and flip-flops, as I grew up, I realized that, you know, things happen to you that you will never expect.
Right.
I was walking through, I think it was at a Target with Connor one day, and I was walking through, and I wasn't thinking much about nothing. I was just hanging out, and I had a little bit of silver on me because I was selling silver at the time. And so I'd always have silver on my body because anytime somebody would walk by and they say something, I was on the beach one day, took a necklace off my head and sold it to a guy for $200. So I was like, hey, you know, I can look good and get money at the same time.
Absolutely.
This is a sweet
Pays
deal.
for dinner.
Yeah, exactly right. So
you bought a bracelet, I'm leaving it there.
yes, perfect. So I was walking through the Target, and this guy said something about me. He's like, man, you're owning the room or something like that. So it wasn't like oh, look at you. He was being genuine. So I sat there, me and Connor sat there and talked to this guy for like 30 minutes straight. Well, it turns out he was some type of business guy, and his daughters dance, and he was interested in martial arts. And we sat there and we talked for 30 minutes about something that would have never happened if I was wearing a tank top and some pajama pants. And so it really does say a lot about you, how you choose to present yourself. And those things attract different crowds. You know, different interactions are going to come from that. But I think it's a good question, Mr. Pool Mike.
Let's see what Pool Mike says.
Sure. Pool Mike says, Brazil, you have my attention. If you've never tried it, a Brazilian steakhouse, I tell you what, it is phenomenal.
It's good.
Miss Connor says, I wish more people would dress up. Yeah, I like it. I think it looks, I just like it.
Yeah.
You know, I like that type of stuff. Mr. Pool Mike says, I have my thoughts. I was going more formal or go home, but what's wrong with being comfortable? I don't think there's necessarily anything wrong with being comfortable. I'll put it this way. I don't know if it's necessarily about what you're wearing. I think it's about why you're wearing, if that makes sense. Let's say you're in a church and somebody comes in and they're just not dressed up to the standards you would expect.
Right.
I don't think it's our place to judge or to kick that person out.
Sure.
But in the same token, you have, let's say, a kid who's been going to that church for 12, 13 years. They're 15 years old. They know the standards and procedures of the church. Right. And so, again, it's not a what are you wearing? It's a why did you wear that here? You know better. You know what I mean? You've been here before. And so, I don't know. I think there's a lot of gray to the subject, you know?
It's funny you said that because this Sunday our pastor talked about that.
Really?
He sure did. Church we're going to, I mean, like I said, we love it. Absolutely love it. We've only been there for about 2 months. Other church, we stayed there for 30 years. Mm-hmm. But anyway, sorry guys, these allergies just won't quit. I see these young kids in there with flip-flops, shorts, and a t-shirt.
Right.
And I'm old school, you know, and I'm looking, I'm like, wow, you know, me and Ms. Olgie couple times, not judging them, just like, wow, you know. The preacher was talking about the day, at least they're here.
Right.
At least they're here.
Right.
They're not home playing video games. They're here.
That's true.
You know, and bottom line, then I felt bad for even thinking that way.
He's got a great point.
Yeah, he said they're here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you told me one time, a young man knows the rules, a wise man knows the exception.
Yeah.
And I think that that's what dress code is sometimes. You just got to know the rules and then understand there's gray area to things, you know. Because some of my friends, I didn't necessarily have this problem, but some of my friends, sometimes they'd come to school and they would look beat up, but it's quite literally all they had. You know, it's beat up clothes, they're torn up and raggedy and stuff. And, you know, it's uncomfortable when a teacher or a principal calls you out for dress code and you're like, dude, it's this or I can wear a trash bag. You know, I've got nothing else. I've got nothing else to wear, man. So that's a fun question, Mr. Cool Mike, because I think there's a lot of gray there. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Miss Jenny Easter says, most restaurants have become more lax than the older days. The days of dressing to the nines are in the past. I think you're right. I do. And you know what I think that comes from? This could just be a really weird opinion.
All right.
But I think that comes from when we think of dress code, and at least in my generation, we think of what is permitted and what is inexcusable. Whereas if, you know, back in the day you talked about dress code, we just talked dressing appropriately for the situation.
Right.
I imagine most people my age, if you told them black tie event, they don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
Or if you said business casual, business formal, cocktail attire, most people don't know what you're talking about. Right. And so as the code lines have blurred over the generations, I think just the terminology in itself has become a what's appropriate and what's not.
How'd she word that again?
Sure. Miss Jenny says something. She said, most restaurants have become more lax than the older days. The days of dressing to the nines are in the past.
I think that's excellent.
Yeah.
I do. And also, too, I think a lot of the younger people probably wouldn't dress up to go in there. They'd go to another restaurant.
You're probably right. Yeah.
They say, you know what? I'm just going to go to another restaurant.
You're probably right.
You know?
Yeah. I know I would have when I was younger.
I mean, I wouldn't now, but I would have probably when I was young.
Right, exactly. So, you know, in some places, what you're wearing is more expensive than the food you're eating, you know?
It looks sloppy.
Right.
Jeans cut up in it.
Exactly right. So it kind of makes sense. I think that's a good point. Mr. Pool Mike says, Walmart? Honey, get your jammers on. We're going to Walmart.
you go see the 3 people there.
Oh. That's funny. Miss Jenny says, I have not experienced the pictures of Walmart, thank goodness. Oh, you're not going late enough, Miss Jenny. You got to go there around 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Oh, that's when the zombies come out. That's a good time.
You ever seen the videos of people at Walmart?
Oh, yes. That's just good laughter.
That started in Myrtle Beach.
I don't doubt that at all.
That guy started that, doing those videos. He started in Myrtle Beach.
I don't doubt that at all.
I didn't know that till about a year ago.
That's a place where it's like sun up, it's one feeling, and then sundown, it's a completely different feeling. That place it can get wild at nighttime. Yeah. Mr. Pool Mike says, someone just kicked out of the Oval Office for going too casual. I should have read that before I read it. Oh my gosh. Goodness gracious. Mr. Pool Mike says, from now on, you guys got to do the podcast with a jacket and ties. Don't tempt me, Mr. Mike.
Oh,
Miss
that's funny.
Jenny Easter says, what is the best job you've had and why?
You can go first.
Okay, sure. I can't choose martial arts as an answer because I think that's not fair.
Yeah, I'm not gonna use martial arts
There's a lot
either.
of passion there. That's just not fair.
Too easy.
The best job I've ever had and why? To be honest with you, and there's no bias here, I worked at a Food Lion for 7 years while I was working on getting a school going in the beginning before 2020. And that was my first job. And I loved it for a long, long time. I mean, even when there were bad days, I really, when I look back and think about that job, there's way more good days than bad days.
Right.
We had more fun in the back room of a grocery store. It was just a blast. We just had such a good time there. And the area we were in was a nice area. I mean, it wasn't like a ritzy side of town, but it was a good side of town. And so people just had good attitudes. Me and one of my buddies that worked there, people would come through shopping in the aisle, and we would take items off the shelf and put them in the shopping cart to see if they would notice or not. And we never had anybody get mad at us. There were people who would laugh or just call us silly. There was one lady who was checking out, and she came back to the aisle. She checked out, and she said, "You got me," and showed us what we put in her cart. And we just had a blast there. I think that's... I don't know. I think that just creates a healthy work environment, a place where you can have fun at. As we did our jobs, we did a really good job. Me and that guy were very competitive with each other. We always tried to do a good job, but we never not had a good time. We always had fun.
I guess my favorite job, not counting martial arts, I worked at a golf course for like 2.5 years. Part-time, but it turned out to be almost full-time. Absolutely loved it. I mean, the people would come in there. It's a high-dollar golf course. But people would come in there, they were nice, some were rude, some were mean, and we just had all kind of stuff going on. One day, we found this camera. We in the golf cart. Somebody left in, they'd bring carts down, we'd wash them up, put them in the back. Excuse me. So me and a guy named Flex, a young kid, he flexing in the mirror one day, so we started calling him Flex. So me and Flex were like, man, let's take some pictures. So I took a picture of Flex, he took a picture of me, and we took a picture of some of the head pros and some people. I mean, just took all the golf cart guys, all of the gang of us. Yeah. We took pictures. We're just messing. So anyway, we carried it to the Lost and Found. Well, about 2 weeks later, we get a call from me and Flex and 2 or 3 guys come up to the pro shop. We're like, oh, what? And the head pro took those pictures and laid them out there. We had sombreros on. Well, it was crazy. Cigars in their mouth, hanging off golf carts. We had them sitting there. The lady had developed it and brought them back to us. We didn't get in trouble. She thought it was funny.
That's awesome.
I thought I was going to get fired.
That is hilarious. That is so funny. It's amazing. It's just something about just having a good time. It's just so nice.
I'm taking pictures of everybody.
Let's see. Mr. Pool Mike says, my best job is being a dad, if you can consider it a job. It is a really good time, I can tell you that right now. Actually, being a husband or a dad is just fun. Sure. It's just a really good time. I'm sure there's struggles I haven't had to deal with yet, but so far, it's been nice. I'd recommend. Ms. Jenny says, question for me, what is your favorite recipe from your family that you still cook today?
You?
Either one. Yeah.
You go first, and I'll go.
That I still cook today. Okay, this is I don't want to give too much backstory on this. It'll take too long to answer. But when we were little, my mom was a single mom, 5 kids, right, et cetera, right? Hard times, yeah. And there was 2 different breakfasts that she would make that I just love to this day. I adore it. One of them was just cinnamon toast. You know what I mean? You take some bread, you add some butter, some cinnamon, some sugar.
Love it.
Put it in the oven, comes back out, and you slap down on it. The other one was we would take bread, and we would take just sliced American cheese, and we'd throw it on there, and we'd take those little single slices of bread, and we would put them in the oven, let the cheese start to get kind of burnt and brown, and we called it cheese toast. Yeah. And it's disgusting, but I love it. Yeah. It's got no flavor to it. It was just cheap white Wonder bread. But whenever I have it, it's like it just takes you back to being a kid and you're watching cartoons and stuff. And so I don't know. Those are 2 that really stick out to me over time.
Growing up, every night for dinner, every night, no matter what my mom fixed, we'd have rice and brown gravy. We could have fried bologna, we could have fried steak, fried chicken. We could have ham sandwiches. My dad wanted brown gravy over rice. Wow. He just loved it. So I just learned to love it. Right. I love rice and gravy. My mom fried a lot of cube steak.
Oh, yeah.
And I do that. I love cooking cube steak.
So you make a great cube steak, too.
That's a good steak sandwich.
Sir.
Put it in soft bread.
Yes.
Nothing's any better.
Now, it was one of the first times I've been at yours and Mrs. Autry's house, your old house, And you said, you like cube steak? I said, well, yes, sir, I do. And you came in, you said, have you ever had it on bread before? I said, no, sir, I haven't. And I feel like you'd put a little bit of A1 on there
I
or
did.
something. Yeah.
I did.
Oh, my gosh. I
good,
couldn't
isn't it?
believe it. Yeah, that's that combination between that bread being soft and the cube steak having the crisp to it.
Yeah, it's got to be tender. You got to steam it just a little bit before you cook it.
Golly. Yeah, that
Actually,
is...
that's all true. Let's get some.
that is mouth-watering.
That's all you want to talk to us. You need to just put it on the phone.
That's so funny. Let's see. Miss Connor Rain says Bronson doesn't cook anymore. That is not true. That is not true. She does a lot of the, like 95% of the cooking now. And one of my favorite dishes that she makes now is that pesto chicken I showed you and Mrs. Autry.
You know, I love pesto. Miss Autry's not crazy about it. I love pesto.
Oh, so good.
Gosh, I love it.
So good. I enjoy that stuff. And so we have a lot of the cherry tomatoes that we're getting out of the garden and putting that stuff in there. And that's just become a lot of fun to do that, you know, making homemade salads and
Right.
stuff. She got them me the other day because she made cheeseburgers. And usually we have a couple extra sliced tomatoes left over.
Right.
And most of the time, I would say 90% of the time, they don't even get used. So I was like, I'm not going to dirty up some Tupperware. It's 4 slices of tomato. I threw them in the trash. And she opened up the trash can and threw something away. She said, you threw away my tomatoes. I said, what are you talking about? She said, I was going to make a salad with that. And so that's why I don't cook anymore, because I'm going to do something to mess something up. So it's better for me to just stay out of the way. It's funny how that works. Mr. Pool Mike says, ever heard of a gravy sandwich? It's an old Italian standby on a Sunday morning. I can't say I've ever heard of a gravy sandwich, but I do know this. Sunday at an Italian's house is a good time. Have you ever had like a Sunday Italian dinner before?
Mm-mm.
Sir, goodness gracious. They start first thing in the morning and around
Now, I've
6.
seen people on TV,
Yeah,
and
sir.
I've never experienced it.
Oh, it's amazing. Around 6, 7 o'clock at night when it's about ready. And one of the best dishes I ever had was with something they called sausage and peppers. And it's oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, that's
that
good.
was phenomenal.
Onions, too.
Mhm,
Put onions in it, yeah.
mhm.
I cook that a lot.
You
I
do?
used to not
Yeah.
eat sausage anymore.
That Italian sausage with that stuff is just amazing.
Sweet sausage.
Yes,
It's
that's
sweet.
what it is. The
It's
sweet sausage. You're right.
Mhm.
Oh my
That's
God.
what goes with the peppers and
Yeah, they're,
onions.
they're sweet like that. Yeah, that is a really, really good
that's
deal.
good.
I love that stuff a lot.
Actually, Ms. Autry, we need to get that store too. I'm getting hungry.
That's so funny. Well, when we hit 50 subscribers on the channel, we'll go out to a couple restaurants
We'll do
and try out some food
We'll do
and
that.
stuff. It'll be a good time. And
What's your
so-
favorite food
My favorite food?
of all time? If you could have anything.
Oh, man. I love food.
I do, too.
That's a tough one to pick. I mean, honestly, this sounds really generic, but I love tacos, and it's just, they're so hard for me to pick anything else because of what you can do with them. They're just so versatile. You could probably eat a cotton taco 3 meals a day, 7 days a week, and never repeat it. You
Right.
can have different toppings
Right.
and different things with it. But I like a lot of the Latin American food like that. It's like empanadas. I love empanadas. But yours is Chinese, right?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit. Chinese or just a good burger.
A burger and French fries.
Just burger and fries.
Wow, one of the greatest
I mean,
things.
just put it on the grill, cook it well done, put onions with A1 sauce on
Right.
it, just a little
So
bit of
good.
mustard and pickles.
That's exactly how I eat it. Yeah, that's exactly. I don't put pickles on them anymore because I don't know what my deal is. I don't know how to stack a burger symmetrically, so I put pickles on it. By the time I take my plate to the table, it's all falling over.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not putting pickles on there anymore because I can't.
Just a burger with pickles and onions.
Oh, so good. So good. See, I got in a debate with somebody the other day because I said that Popeye's chicken is better than Chick-fil-A chicken.
Actually, you're right.
You think so?
I do. I mean, I'm a Chick-fil-A. In fact, we had that today for lunch. Try not to eat much fast food.
Right.
But Popeye's chicken is probably the best.
It's really, really
They
good.
used to have good shrimp.
They did.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
my second favorite food,
I
shrimp.
forgot about that. You're
Yeah.
right. I had it the first time I ever went to Popeyes. I got their shrimp count and some red beans and rice, and it was great. I really
The
enjoyed
shrimp's
it.
good.
Yeah.
It seems like here lately, I haven't eaten there in probably a year, but here lately it seems like it's just a little bit more greasier than it used to be. I don't know if they changed the grease or what the deal
I'm not
is.
sure. Yeah,
But the chicken sandwich is crisp.
Wow.
Crispy.
Wow. So I was looking up a recipe one day because I was going through this phase where I just wanted to make really good chicken tenders.
Right.
And I had made some pretty good batches, but I'd found one before that somebody said Popeyes, and I was like, well, I'd never had Popeyes before, so I looked at it, and they told me when you make the batter, pour in a little bit of club soda in there, And I was like, okay, club soda. She said, all that fizz is what gets those nice crackly, crunchy parts on there. I said, okay, very cool. So I poured some club soda into the batter. Wow. I mean,
Really?
yeah, I still have pictures of that chicken somewhere on my phone because I was so impressed with the way it came out. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I imagine, I've never made it before, but I imagine it's similar to how you do beer batter. Just
Right.
pour it into the batter and
Right.
just go on, you know? But, man, wow. Very, very crispy. I was thrilled with the way it turned out.
I'll have to try that.
Let's see, the biscuits and gravy. Yes. Miss Autry, I love biscuits and gravy. That is,
See, I never grew up with it. And when I started dating Ms. Autry, I'd go up to Virginia, go to her house. Her mom always had biscuits and gravy. I'm like, I don't know. Then I tried them.
oh, wow. Yeah.
She makes the best. She makes the best biscuits and gravy in the
When
world.
when you eat that stuff, it goes right to the soul. It does something special.
Oh.
It's amazing. If you've never tried it, you got to try it. So good. Pool Mike says Bronson gets 5% of the credit, and now it's on tape. It's here forever on the internet, Pool Mike. It'll never go away. Miss Easter says, sausage gravy and biscuits is fantastic. A sausage and gravy bake is even more. Now, I've never had it baked before. Like a sausage, like a biscuits and gravy, but you bake it. So I imagine you're putting it in the skillet and you just throw the skillet in the oven is what I'm guessing.
I'm sure.
But I like skillet bakes. I've had a handful of them throughout my lifetime where it's just like, you know, something, a dish or a casserole
Right.
you threw together, you just throw the skillet in the
Right.
oven. It comes out nice. I like it. It's good. Mr. Pool Mike says, you guys are talking Southern and I'm talking real Italian. Yeah. There's a little
That's
bit of a
because we're
difference.
down south.
Yeah, that's my home turf. Miss Jeannie says, I just love food, but Greek would be my number one besides the Southern that I've grown up with. Greek food is spectacular. Really, really good.
You know, I like it. I don't love it, but I like it. We went to a Greek restaurant the other day. It was good. I said, "You guys have fried shrimp?" She said, "Yeah, we got fried shrimp." I said, "Also fried
take
shrimp
that.
and Greek rice and
Right.
stuff." It was grilled. It wasn't fried. And a little girl was like, "This is." I didn't say it to her. I said, "It's not fried." I ate it. It was fine.
Right.
And I wanted some good old fried shrimp with
so good.
some batter and some that Greek rice.
Yes.
Ooh.
So good. Yeah, the Greek food. Oh, does that? Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, you make the gravy and put the biscuits on top, and then you bake it. Okay, very cool. No, that's good. We
Good job, Ms. Autry.
Yeah, Connor introduced me to a lot of foods. You know, I'd never dipped a buffalo wing in ranch before I got with Connor, and wow, now that's
I don't do that.
that's a combination there. I love that. But she's also the one that introduced me to a chicken Greek salad. I'd never had Greek dressings. When I was a kid, a salad was iceberg lettuce
Right.
and like baby carrots, and that was it. You know, I never ate ranch. I hated it. I thought it was so gross.
I don't like ranch.
Yeah, it's not my thing, but
Blue cheese or ranch.
dip a buffalo wing in there and I like it, but other than that, ranch is just not my cup of tea. But I'd only ever had like Thousand Island dressing and ranch dressing.
Right.
But Connor's the one that introduced me like Caesar salad and to the Greek dressings and stuff, and all sorts of weird things.
See, I love salad.
Really good.
salad.
Really
salad.
good. Yes. When I found out you could put fried chicken in there, I was like, well, hey, this is pretty good.
That's what we're doing tomorrow.
Yeah, I didn't know we could do that.
Ms. Autry requested that. I'm gonna cook
I
that
love
for
that.
tomorrow.
Yeah, it's so good. Like a chicken Caesar. It's just,
Yeah.
wow, it's good. Let's see. We know Southern biscuits and gravy is awesome. Yeah, it sure is. Connor says ranch is a game changer. I mean, hey, for some people, it is not my thing. And Mr. Pool Mike says grape leaves. Really? That's nothing I've never heard of before. Grape leaves.
He might be making that up.
He says it sounds Greek or true Greek. Yeah, I don't know about grape leaves. That's something else. Yeah.
I've heard of them. I've never tried it.
Yeah, I've never tried that either. That's funny. Yeah, is it just a salad? Just something you eat like that? Miss Gina says, is it bottle ranch or homemade? Homemade is the way to go. I've never had homemade ranch before. Well, maybe I have, because Connor makes like homemade potato salad, and so she makes homemade stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I've had homemade ranch or not. But Connor has made me a homemade tartar sauce before for fish. Wow, now that's fantastic stuff there. When you eat fish, do you use any sauce? Do you use cocktail sauce?
Hot
or not?
sauce.
Hot sauce.
Texas Pete.
That's right. I've
I'll
seen you do
fire it
this.
up.
Yeah.
Pepper and Texas Pete.
I've seen
I
you
want
do
it as
this.
spicy as I can get it.
That's so funny. And speaking of spicy food, we've gone on this kick here lately where Connor's making pad thai. It's like a Thai dish with the chicken and the peanuts and
Yeah.
stuff. Man, my friends used to tell me about Thai food because they knew I like to eat. And so
Right.
they tell me, oh, you got to try Thai food. The servings are ginormous. I said, well, what do you eat there? I don't know anything about it. And they said, well, try pad Thai first. It's the first thing. It'll be your gateway and you'll be addicted. And I said, okay, well, what is it? What is pad Thai? I don't know what that is. And they try to explain to me, oh, it's noodles with chicken. And then they take like ground peanuts and throw it on top. I
It
was like,
sounds yucky.
yeah, I was like, gross, ground peanuts. And no, I'm good on that, man. No way. They're like, you have to try it. Eventually, Connor talked me into it. That might be, it's up there, like top 10 favorite dishes of all time.
Yeah.
That the peanuts just do something for it.
Crushed up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, crushed them up.
And it's so good. And Connor said she makes homemade tzatziki. Yeah, that's exactly right. Mr. Pool Mike says grape leaves are real and they're always stuffed. I have seen these.
Okay.
I've seen
I've
this.
seen those too. I know when he said
Yes.
stuff, it just hit me.
Mhm. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that now he's talking about
Yeah, I
it.
know exactly what you mean. That is so funny. Wow, I didn't realize it was 8:07. We went way past time. That is so funny. So that was a really good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mr. Pool Mike says, Connor, you need to introduce him to stuffed grape leaves. That is so funny. Yeah, I'm always open to trying new things and new foods and stuff. And
I love cooking new foods.
Me too.
I get recipes, I'll tweak them.
that
little
is a
bit.
blast.
I love doing that.
Me too.
Love
That's
it.
so much fun.
Golly, I love doing that.
Yeah, for anybody out there looking for something new, put some club soda in your chicken batter.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, that's special.
I'm gonna try that.
I haven't tried it with anything other than tenderloins, but it was for chicken tender batter, and so I really enjoyed it. I really, really did. But, like I said, once we get up to the 50 subscriber mark, we'll go out there and we'll try some things. I don't know if
That's
I'll have
all day.
stuffed grape leaves or not, but I'll give it a shot one day.
That'd be fun.
But until then, guys, we will be back here next Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern. Sir, it's always a pleasure.
My
Really
pleasure.
enjoyed that.
Yes, sir.
Guys, it's always a blessing to be able to be here and have this conversation and fellowship with you guys. And I always look forward to it. And we'll be back again next week.
Sounds good. Good
Have a
night,
good night,
guys.
guys.